Nothing gets past you. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress, blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being. When absorbed, including you. Chop it up. That paid off. Wow! Running low. Don't let go. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Gotta hurt. Put an end to it. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. Handy.
tolu keta ya wawanwe. Far komemako to far titaba.
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. How Lupa Lupin somehow left you alive after his raid on the old village. He must have had a... There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma... He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the impending threat of the world. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember. Asks if you are tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here. You might... The Nono prefer... You've found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's key energy is just what the Ps5 needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall, you'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of Ki, the primal. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the Ps5 tree. They're hiding in the glitter grass that mostly grows deep inside damp caves, where they draw mineral from the... One day, he hopes the tree will have... But today... Head back to the Ps5. Better bid. From this day on, one day the he says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for you. No. He lost you there for a while, but no He says he The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse that Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land set the World Eater's DNA into overdrive. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Googlide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's... He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved.
Loma toaha. Honto kun tue pon yevun goja.
He claims names have power, so he gave them these names to weaken them. For him, the Porky-Puff is particularly personal. It was that...
Ugambun ang ugagad yebromo wufu.
Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the trial.
Do wowu.
You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Let's see. be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eater. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if he doesn't know. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light.
That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts.
Not as much as it hurts to look at...
Always making this...
And you're always trying...
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Out-of-Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good... Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. Myriad is convinced that defeating the World Eaters is the only way the world can be saved, but they've been forced to focus on their rival. Out of Date. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded. Small things for your big ideas. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone. Healthier than ever. Wonder what oddness you could get up to now. That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Let's see. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. The Sifu's door is always open for newcomers.
Sipi? Lapanen aginkanman. Geradna fal hutut mustugai la wute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you. The wall that separates them from the other side? The wasteland you came from? He guesses the time.
Gela wala click click.
He's.
Tu guy la wute. Karap la wute.
There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you.
Flat tick. Karadam woof and a mat gain. Tu guy la wute.
The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples.
Tu gula ma mosse. Ho hotin na. Mus.
Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it consisted of unarmed combat and the six.
By the phrase.
The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now.
Tu gula ma mosse. Gera wach.
Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the... If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. You'll unite the tribes and defeat the World Eaters to save the Tree of Life.
Gera wach.
He was hoping you'd join them. You understand that there's no...
Papa mo ta kant. Ulo se kada podo.
The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you...
Ala manglif. Lapu. Kan boof.
The Myriad were placed here to fulfill a certain purpose, chosen to...
Papa mo lapu. What?
Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war.
What?
He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen.
Fale well, Papa.
You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that bonds as much as it breaks.
Fale well, Papa. Gelet not. Schleine forrotna mika.
Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon.
Schleine forrotna mika.
Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin share land again. You were all part of the same tribe once, but without your Muma there as a guide, the disciples turned on each other and formed their own tribes. Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good. Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old village on your way to the first rival outpost might help.
Geratna fala hutut alam when denke.
Even though it's now a different place from a different time, it is a place that'll make you remember.
Geratna fala hutut
You have things to do, places to go to.
alam when denke.
Understand?
Can't boof.
You have things to do.
Guaremba.
Understand?
Can't boof.
You have things to do.
Gelet not.
Understands
It's one hina dahil mo level.
Thinks if you like riding gnotes, you should say thanks to Noko in the gnote pen. She takes...
Ashwek one yanqua.
Says you must look to the tree of life to know hope. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurred. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade. And sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Goop says he always does better whenever he leaves failure behind. He wonders where you've been. He hopes you've been out at the lake, practicing your swimming technique. Learning to swim can be scary when you don't know what you're doing. But fortunately, he thinks you should really know how to swim by now. And he'll be honored. He says, that wasn't too bad, was it? Way to go. Don't let the sound... But you need practice. Lots of practice. Great things usually happen to those who... You just need more time in the surf. That's the only way you'll ever learn how to swim. You can never try... Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. The dedication to training is important. You can't rely solely on the fact that Wang Fu is in your... You should know, practice makes perfect. As long as it doesn't kill you, it'll only make you stronger. She'll see you at the village square. She says that's good. With a passion for learning... Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. Being nice comes easy for him. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He's happy. You should look for things that are... He wonders what usefulness you found. He can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. That's the spirit. You can't make... He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you... You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He believes... He understands, but hopes you won't be needing it anytime soon. He thinks mastering the 6 weapon styles... He's looking forward to seeing what you'll make next. It looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you on the village square right away. You'll continue to build on the basics. She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself before she's gone. She won't live forever, you know that. But she intends to make the most of... You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her. Then start by meeting her on the village square. They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and wonders where you think you're going. He says that it's not too late for you to... There's no way they'll let you pass. He wants to know who you think you are. They push each other to become better, and sometimes someone gets... She asks if you're hurt. What happened? She's there for all disciples. That's her commitment. The most important thing. It's time to focus on your training now. You won't need it. Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling.
Zatuna
Training with Muma will...
Untlump. Vaksa ush intabadan.
He asks if you could help him, too, before you leave for training.
Waksandonanenya.
He'll talk to her, sure, but you know she wants you to accept her.
Waksandonanenya.
He suggests you get going and find him gadgets and ideas for how you can upcycle...
Inmo.
He's curious to see what you found.
Waksandonia inanmachmale. Waksanmakale zegi.
He's all for renewal and has even...
Zif umojudo vavazil.
He can work wonders with pretty much anything and asks if you know how to upcycle.
Mushtakabalat no kondonash hafe pon.
Says at least dirty hands are proof that you tried.
Zien.
He says it's about time you learned how and offers to teach you. The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you. He knows she's already proud of you and everything you've achieved so far. You should take it with you, wear it to practice.
Ja.
He thinks you should. She'll be proud of you.
Will Shila Goyo.
He's looking for... Your Muma says it's about time you got here.
Katia Topoluta.
Hopes you're as ready.
Ferena Masalapu. Rizentende.
She says she is eager to...
Beri a Sadurutu.
But there's enough time left for repetition and you need it. Training dummies don't hit back.
Inyavaldo.
Wants you to prove that with some practice. Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Amu.
Thanks you for being such a good student.
Kamonu. Inyavaldo.
Been working on a present for you, with the help...
Amu. Minalagi Mamuru.
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it.
Rizentende.
Says he's always thought...